Hello everyone, welcome to this new video of Prep Insta. In this video, we'll be covering everything about TCS Ninja registration process and what is the syllabus, tips and tricks, salaries, and most asked questions that are there in TCS. And let's just go on with the video. First, I like to tell you, 91% of the students who were placed in TCS had prepared from Prep Insta, so you are at the best place. And I don't think you should study anywhere from anywhere else, because we provide the best content and we are the people with the best expertise in the same. And as we all know, Prep Insta is the #1 website and most visited websites for placement by far. So you can just decide on your own. So let me tell you about myself. I think most of you would know about me. My name is Atulya, and I'm the founder of the website Prep Insta, and we've trained about 15 lakh students and they've gotten placed successfully. I also cleared TCS along with 7 other companies off campus and got 5 different off campus offers also, and a few of my offers were more than 10 lakhs also. And I was also the Chancellor's Excellence Award. And the reason why I'm telling you so that there's a trust built between all of us that are watching the video, and you can trust us because we would be the best people to be able to help you with that, right? Because the results speak on their own. Okay, so let's just go with the video. In this video, we'll be covering on how to apply for TCS Ninja, the recruitment pattern, the most asked and repeated questions for all the 4 sections. And this is a secret and no one else knows, because we have contacted internal HRs of TCS and everything, and only we have this information, no one else has. The interview grading screen. And after this video, there's a big surprise at the very end which will be very helpful for you. So just watch the whole video and stay tuned. Right. So generally TCS will be visiting all the top colleges of India. About top 400 colleges TCS will visit this year, but there are around 4 to 5,000 other campuses in India as well, and TCS does not visit those. So what they've done, they have this TCS Ninja recruitment test throughout India for all the colleges which are accredited by AICTE. Most of you who've already watched our TCS digital video know about cream and premium colleges and all that, and a lot of students found out really helpful. For most of the students, there was only one test, but for grade A colleges there were 2 tests, so they were very thankful to us that we provided only that information to those students. So we thank all of you for your support. We get a lot of good messages on Facebook, and we feel very prideful and happy once we see those messages. So how do we apply for TCS Ninja, right? I think the placement is going to happen in August and September, and what you have to do, you have to ask your placement officer on how to apply. So they will tell you the tentative date when TCS Ninja is coming, and then you will have to go to nextstep.tcs.com and register there and fill the application form there. But your application will not be complete, because your placement officer will give you an activation code, right? Because nextstep.tcs.com is the common portal for all of the people at fresher level, even for TCS or TCS Digital or TCS Ninja, right? So you need to have an activation code, so your application goes to the correct department of TCS, which is, it should go to TCS Ninja, and they have to also verify if your campus is eligible or not, right? So once you get this placement activation code from your placement officer, just go to nextstep.com and apply this code. If you are facing issues with how to do that, we have a TCS off-campus drive page. For that also, the steps are the same, except you have to just enter TCS Ninja in a few places. So you can just Google TCS off-campus drive 2018 and visit the first page of that. The first page itself is of Prep Insta, and there you will find all the information. And if you are already passed out student, I think those are also applicable and eligible for TCS Ninja. Just contact your placement officer in that case, and they will help you with it, right? So the difference between TCS and TCS Ninja is, TCS will visit top 300 colleges with their HRs and all, and they can't visit all the other colleges. So for TCS, the interview round and the on-campus online test will be at your own campus itself. But for TCS Ninja, a national qualifier test will be there, and it will be for the colleges that TCS doesn't visit. So what will happen, the written test will be, or online test will be at your campus itself, but for interviews they have two options. If a lot of colleges are there in that city, so they will select one of the biggest campus in that city, and a pool campus interview will be there, wherein students from other colleges will visit those campus and TCS will conduct the interview there. Or if it's a small city, generally they will call you to their one of the nearest offices of TCS, wherein the interview can be conducted, right? So this is an after part. So the best information will be provided with your placement department, so just go there and contact them. You can always come back to Prepinsta to prepare about a lot of our questions will be repeated in your exam, and a good percentage of that, in fact. So it's the best resource to prepare, right? So also the students who perform really well in TCS Ninja will have a chance to also give the interview for TCS Digital. Top 10% will also have a chance to attend TCS Digital interview. If you are not selected for TCS Digital, in that case you can also you will be also asked to give the interview for TCS Ninja. In that case, if you are selected for TCS Digital, obviously you will not be given a chance for TCS Ninja. In that case, obviously, why will you? Because the package is 7 lakhs for TCS Digital and it is 3.5 for TCS Ninja. And you should prepare really well for TCS Ninja, because if you actually are in the top 10 performing students, you leap 5 years of your life. So if you start with a package of 3.5 lakhs to go to 7 lakhs, you have to spend at least 3-4 years at a company, and then you will come at 7 lakhs package, right? And here, if you prepare for 10-15 days of your life and give your best shot at it, you will save 3-4 years of your life, and you'll make your parents proud, and you'll have a better package and better lifestyle in that case. So just start your preparation today itself. Don't wait. And we'll tell you how to prepare. There's a online test, online live classes that we have. We'll tell you the information about that later in the video. And we also have, if you don't want to attend the online live class, we also have paid materials and a lot of free materials that you can go through, and it will be really helpful. So the aptitude and logical round is the first round in the written test, and about 20 questions are there, and you have to solve them in 40 minutes. 18 normal 1 mark question that will have a negative marking of 0.33, and 2 star mark question which will have a negative marking of 0.66. There is nothing called blue star marked questions, and I think the color of the star will be black in that case. So there's only star marked questions, right? And then there is an email writing section, 10 minutes for one question. I'd also like to tell you that the email is not checked by a person individually. There's an artificial intelligence algorithm that checks your email, and we have all the internal sources on what parameters does the artificial intelligence grade you marks, and we'll only cover that in our live video and online live video session that we are conducting for TCS. And we'll tell you, on if it has to give you 100 marks, 10 marks the AI will give for this parameter, 5 marks will give for this parameter. We have that in free section, but only limited amount of information. So you can always try the other part. Then there is CMCQ section, and 10 questions are there, 20 minutes. There's a negative marking again of 0.33 marks and 1 mark for each question. In email writing and command line programming, there is no negative marking. Then the command line programming test, or which is basically C coding test, there will be 1 question, and the time given for you would be 20 minutes. And this is very different from normal coding structure. So a lot of students say, we are very good at coding and we'll be able to do this round, and when they actually give the test, they don't know what command line programming is. It is completely different, so they can't even start the question itself, right? So the only command line programming theory and information, we are very proudful to say that it's only on Prepinsta. Nowhere on the internet you can find any relevant information about command line programming. And just check the command line programming dashboard on our TCS Ninja main dashboard, right? And you will find all the information. And we are going to have about 4-hour session in our live online video that we are having. So we'll discuss that later. I think in that we'll also cover command line programming in detail. Then there is a technical interview, about 30 to 40 minutes. The technical interview will be different companies like Wipro and Accenture and Cognizant have 10 to 20 minutes technical interview, but TCS has a different pattern. Then there is an HR interview of 10 minutes, and the MR interview, or that is the managerial round, is also clubbed with this one, right? So we've done a lot of data analytics here, and the probability of each section, number of questions, the difficulty level of each question, and probability of a question that is star marked, from which topic can it cover. We've done all that research. This information you can find also on our aptitude dashboard for TCS Ninja. So for example, for work and time, either there will be one question or there will be 0 questions from this. Then again, from reasoning, there will be 2 questions and 2 to 3 questions, and definitely there's a very high chance for a star marked question to be from the reasoning section. So just prepare well. I don't think any other people or any other preparation company will give you this comprehensive information about anything. And once you prepare, we give you detailed statistics about each and every section that you're preparing for, right? So the aptitude section pattern, let's just take one question here, and we'll try to solve it for you. So there are 2 by 3, that is 2/3 of balls in a bag are blue and the rest are pink, right? If 5 by 9th of the blue balls and 7 by 8 of the pink balls are defective, find the total number of balls in the bag, given that the number of non-defective ball is 146. So how will you solve this question? So everything is given here. They've already given you the number of the ratio of blue balls and the pink balls and defective number of blue balls, defective number of pink balls. You just have to find, make equations, a lot of equations, and relate those equations with one another, and you have to find the answer. So I don't think that this video I should solve this question. Definitely I will be wasting a lot of your preparation time, and you can always find these questions on our website and you can prepare really well from them. So I'll just quickly for a few students who are very inquisitive about knowing the answer, we'll just quickly have a solution for this, and we will not cover more aptitude questions in this video. All the aptitude questions, about 600-700 aptitude questions for TCS, you can find on our website, right? And all of us know about that. So let's just go. Let the total number of balls be x, right? So number of blue balls will be 2x by 3, because they've said 2 by 3 of the balls in the bag are blue, right? So 2x by 3 are the blue balls, and the rest balls are pink. So by rest they mean x, total number of balls, that is x, and minus blue balls, that is 2x by 3, should give you the rest balls, that is pink balls. So x minus, that is total number of balls, minus blue balls is equals to pink balls, so which equals to x by 3. Now they say that total number of we want to calculate the total number of defective balls in there. So what is the total number of defective blue balls? Which they say, if 5 by 9th of the blue balls are defective, that is 5 by 9 into number of blue balls that we've already calculated, 2 by 3 here. So 5 by 9 into 2x by 3 are total number of defective blue balls. Again we'll do the same thing. X by 3 are total number of pink balls, multiplied by 7 by 8 of the pink balls are defective, right? Multiplied by 7 by 8. So total number of defective balls would be this number of defective blue balls, correct? And number of defective pink balls, right? So we just solve this whole equation. The first one becomes 10x by 27, second one becomes 7x by 24, and finally the total number of defective balls we have 143 by 216. So this is the final equation after solving it. So this is the total number of defective balls, and in the question we are given the total number of non-defective balls. So what we'll do, non-defective balls will be total number of balls minus defective balls, right? So we just solve this equation. X minus 143 by 216 is equals to 146, and finally the value of x we get as 432. So the correct answer would be option 3, right? So a lot of aptitude questions are there on our dashboard. You can always prepare from that, and it is a good habit to, rather than checking out the solution and mugging up, if you practice those questions really well. So let's just go with the next section, email writing. In email writing, we have about a 2 hour, 4 hour video about email writing in the online live class that we would be conducting. But in this video, I'll just cover the only small few things that you should know. The minimum number of words should be 50 and the maximum number of words should be 100, right? And then there are marks for spellings, punctuation, grammar, and paragraphization. So by spellings, a lot of students know the spelling, but when they are actually writing it on a keyboard, they may misspell it. Like if you have to write MAKE, writing very fast, you can do it MKAE. So you interchange A and K while writing fast, so avoid that. Also, if you don't know a particular spelling, so for example, a word like monotonous, right? So if just think, if you are 100% sure that you know the spelling of monotonous, or maybe you're just making sounds in your mind and then trying to identify what the spelling would be, then don't write that word. Use an alternative word in that case. Alright, so let's just go ahead with the next one. Punctuation is very important. Full stops, colons, semicolons, commas, and everything. Then paragraphization is important. So the AI will give you marks for paragraphization. If you don't divide your email in paragraphs, you will lose marks, and because it gives you marks on paragraphization also. So this is one thing that we've leaked, I think, and we shouldn't have told you, but now you know already. But yes, there are a few other things that the AI gives marks that we'll discuss in the online live video only, right? So also using heavy words that are proficient in English will not award you extra marks, and write with a good English, with a good grammar and spelling, punctuations, take care of that. And the reason why TCS is having an email writing test is, most of your work apart from coding would be to speak to the client. You have to understand the problem that the client is facing and the kind of products that they want to develop for their company, and TCS will help them with it. So you have to conversate with the client over emails, over Skypes and all. So it will give a very bad impression if you write a grammatical error email, or not a proper structured email in that case, and will look at a very bad standpoint towards TCS, and client will lose a lot of faith in TCS if you write a very bad email. Even if you're a very good coder, a bad email writing practice can make you look like an amateur, right? So TCS test these skills using this email writing round. So this is why the email writing round is there. Then there is the CMCQ section. So I think on a lot of websites there is false information given about a lot of different sections, a lot of different things, and they've covered every possible data structures also, then linked list and C programming and everything. I don't think those questions are asked, and we've done a lot of data analysis. Only C and loops, arrays, command line programming, libraries, variables, registers, and file handling. Questions are only asked from these topics, right? And we'll cover everything in detail. We have all the previous year questions of TCS, and a few of them are repeated in the exam, so it will be really helpful. Apart from that, a few students do not know that in the CMCQ section, MCQs of command line programming theory is also asked, right? Apart from command line programming, the theory of command line programming is also asked in the CMCQ section. So we'll also cover the theory, because there is no information on the internet, and even we put very little information. So detailed information we'll be having in our paid materials and in our online live classes that we'll have. So you can prepare well, and only this information is on Prep and stuff. So let's just take a CMCQ question. In that case, there's a program called sample program, which starts with obviously include studio.h and then void main. So void is used because it is not returning anything. If it was returning, let's say, return 5 or return 0, then we would have used int instead of void. And then what we do, we initialize a variable called a as 0, right? And if a equals to 0, so we are checking if this condition is true, then it goes to printf hi, else it goes to printf how are you, and then printf hello. So what most of the students will do, that they'll only mark the correct answer as the first option high, because they will think this else condition here will not get executed. Though it is true this else condition will not get executed, but this else condition is only not getting executed for this particular printf, right? But this printf is out of this scope of else, right? Because we've not used any brackets. So when we don't use any brackets, in that case C only takes the next line as the parameter. So this is one of the easiest question that I'm taking. The questions in TCS MCQ section are very difficult, but for the clarity of concept, to start with the very basics, we've taken this. So what will be printed? Printf hi will definitely get printed. This else condition will not, because if is already applied, then this will not get printed, but this is out of the scope. So hi and hello will be printed. So just watch the program for like a few seconds. I'll give you the time. If you want, you can also pause this video and understand why this is happening. Okay, so let's just go ahead. What is the size of an int data type, right? I think most of you will answer as 4, but that is not true. We have most popular compilers like dev C++ or turbo C. In dev C++ it is 4 bytes, and in turbo C it is 8 byte. And generally when we write a code for industry based applications, as we do in TCS, there's a different compiler altogether that they work on. So in that case, to support very large numbers like 20-25 digits number, in that case the compiler may be comprehended in that case to support a very larger integer data type like 16 bytes and all. So it depends on the system and compiler. So the correct answer will be C in that case. So this is again a very basic question. I think most of you would know that. And if you were writing correct answer as 4 and 8, I think you need to really practice your basics in that case, right? So then there is command line programming. I think command line programming I can't teach you in this video, because it is about a 2-3 hours concept. We already have a lot of videos about command line programming on our YouTube channel, and you can watch those to start with. In the live classes we also have a lot of videos, but we'll tell you only the basic information about command line programming. There's so that you can watch that separately from YouTube. Free videos will really be helpful, and there's only one question for 20 minutes, and you can only compile it 10 times. What students have told us is that if they compile more than 10 times, a pop-up will come which will say that you have reached the maximum compilation times, or in the same particular language, something the same thing the compiler is trying to convey to you. So 10 times only you can compile. The coding platform is divided into two, one for writing the code and other for the output. And you can't use any functions like scanf, getch, and getchar. And if you are very confused, like if you can't use scanf and getch and getchar, in that case I think you've not gone through a command line programming page on TCS Ninja dashboard. Just make sure that you go through it, and because this will only be helpful in that case, right? And the input should be only provided as command line arguments. So then there's a lot of people, what they do at the end of the program, they will write let's say if the output has to be 5, they will write printf 5. That will not help you, because TCS is very smart. They run your program for different input and different outputs. So there will be 4 test cases which will say passed or fails for you, but along with that about 100 test cases are checked at the back end, which you will not know about, right? So don't compile again and again, because the compiler will take about 25 seconds to compile every time whenever you want to compile. And if you compile 10 times, in that case out of your 20 minutes, 5 minutes are wasted in compilation, right? About 300 seconds are wasted in compilation. And this is the we already written an email to TCS that please resolve this for students, and this is very weird that it takes very long time and they waste a lot of time in that. So they've responded with saying that a lot of students simultaneously take a test, and our servers are really slow because a lot of users are simultaneously accessing it. So what they've told us, they'll try to increase their server limit in this case, but we are anyways telling you that only use compilation whenever it is required. Don't compile again and again. Anyways, there is a 10-time compilation limit, right? So a basic overview about command line programming. I don't think if I provide you more information, this video will become 2 hours, 3 hours long. So the int main that you write is passed on with two parameters, that is argc and argv. Argc is basically the number argument count. So if you have an array and you are passing that array, so in that case argc will give the number of elements in the array plus 1, because automatically argc value is 1. It has a default parameter. So if you pass on an array with only one parameter, in that case argc value will be 2, because one default parameter is always there. Then argv is there, which contains the location of all the values. So it is a pointer, and argv will give you the array of values of all the arguments. So if all this confuse you, so you can always go to a command line programming dashboard and watch other YouTube videos on our website. And if this is confusing you, you should definitely clear your concepts, and only a little information I'm providing so that you know what to refer and what not to refer, right? So an example of a command line program is finding palindrome of a number, Armstrong of a number, converting decimal to octal. I'm sorry. In that case, these are a little difficult program, not that difficult program, and I think a lot of you will say that I can write this program in normal coding, but you don't know how to write this in command line programming. So just make sure that you also know how to write this with command line programming code as well, right? So we'll also cover some interview bit in here, and there's a different section for CSIT and non-CSIT people in interview. So CSIT people will have C, C++ and software engineering and DSA as a mandatory section. This information we've only gotten through HRs of TCS, and we've contacted them that on what basis do you take interviews for a non-CSIT and IT people, and this information they've only given to us, right? And they stick very much to the resume. So if you mention a technology like Python and you don't know how to write a difficult code in Python, in that case the interviewer will know. So if you're not very sure about the technology, don't write it in your resume, because definitely you will be asked a question from that, right? And for non-CSIT people, right, obviously you don't know software engineering, data structures and computer networks and all that. So in that case, the interviewer will ask you questions from your own branch. So let's say if you're from a mechanical branch and the interviewer also happens to be mechanical branch, so yes, in that case he will also remember some few concepts of mechanical, and he'll ask you some questions from that. But let's say he's a computer science or you're a triple E student in his graduation, and you're a mechanical student. In that case, he'll definitely have to Google interview questions for mechanical branch, and then so you can always do that pre-hand and practice all of those questions already, right? So it will help you a lot in that case, right? So this will really be helpful. Apart from that, project based questions are definitely asked. You would have done some mini projects and maybe final year projects preparation you would have already started, right? So in that case, make sure that you know all the circuit diagrams and formulas and definitions related to your project, because if you're required to make circuit diagrams and diagrams, and you've done about a month mini project or 6-month final year project, in that case if you don't know that, it will give a very bad impression to the interviewer that he spent so much months on that and he doesn't even know the circuit diagram. So just make sure that you open whatever circuit diagrams that you have. And for example, for a CSIT person, if he's worked on an Android application, make sure that you know all the basic Android definitions and stages of Android. For a triple E person, if you're working on a DC motor, make sure that you know all the DC motor definitions of formulas and diagrams. So because that is your expertise, right? And because you've done a project on it. So in the technical interview, this is the grading scheme, and no one has this information. Only Prepinsta has this information, and because obviously the interviewer will give you some marks after the interview, right? So on these basis, he gives you marks in the technical interview that is happening. That is TR. The grades are given in A, B, C, D, E, F way, and there are 4 parameters on which he will give you grades. The first one is command on procedural language, which is basically C, right? So he'll probably ask you to write a basic code, like write a code for palindrome of a number, or maybe factorial of a number using recursion and all that, or he'll ask you basic definitions, that why printf is used, why scanf is used, and a little more difficult questions in C concept, like difference between static variable and auto variable and all that. And then command on object oriented language, like oops, or C, C++. So he'll ask you some definitely he'll ask you some object oriented programming questions, both for CSIT and non CSIT people. For CSIT, they will ask you to write codes maybe. For a non CSIT, I think definitions should be fine, right? Then from from your own branch, a few questions. For CSIT, their own branches question. For non-CSIT, their own branches question. Then the last part is verbal communication. You should have very fluent English, because you have to speak to the client on Skype, and if you stammer or if you speak grammatically wrong English, in that case, it will be looking really bad for the TCS, and they only want people who are a good communicators, right? So for example, I'd like to give you an example of my personal experience. A lot of people message us on our Facebook page for buying materials, for example. So they say I buyed your materials and I found difficulty in this, right? So first of all, I think if you were not able to find a grammatical error in this paragraph, you should practice your grammar more. What is the issue? Buyed is not the second form or third form of buy. You just simply think that you put ed after buy and it becomes second form or third form, right? It is not correct. Buy second form and third form is bought, right? And if you're saying with already a third form in a sentence, like I didn't bought the material, that is also wrong. If you were not able to find the issue in this one, you should brush up your concepts. You can't use two third form in a sentence. Since you've already used did, you can't use bought again. In that case, you have to use buy. I did not buy, or I didn't buy the materials, or anything like with the second form, two second form in the same sentence is wrong. Right. So let's just go with the managerial interview. In the managerial interview, the manager of a TCS project will be taking your interview, and he'll take questions from project critical discussions, like time management. For example, if you have a project which has a deadline in 2 days, and there's a weekend between that, and on Monday you have to submit, and on Friday you are not able to complete that. So he'll ask you questions, would you be willing to work on Fridays and Saturdays without a payment, or Saturdays and Sundays without a payment? Because your time management skills should be there. You should know if work is already given to you, it is your responsibility to complete that on task. Because if you're not able to complete, there are a lot of legal clauses with a lot of companies. If a project is not completed in time, TCS has to pay crores and crores of rupees to that company for failing to complete a project in time. Right. Then confidence of yours will also be checked. They'll ask you some confidence related questions, outgoing and friendly. So there, you would have a team, and in a team, it's not important that you are a very good coder and you will sit alone and only code. You should also be able to help others, seek help from other, make a friendly environment, so the stress of the work is not there on everyone's mind. Have fun. So he'll ask you some questions related to that, and obviously a team player and collaborative person. So whatever question the manager asks you, make sure that all these 4 points you are demonstrating that you are a team player, you are outgoing and friendly, you are confident, and you have time management skills. So he will give you A, maybe B, and C in each of those four sections, right? So make sure that you get all the A's here. And then there is an HR question, and the HR will only talk to you about the work ethics, that if you are respectful to other people, women and disabled people, if you are culturally fit with TCS. And a lot of people, especially women, have a lot of problem that my parents live in Bangalore and you're given a project in Pune, I can't shift there. So they'll ask you questions related to that, and if you say no, that I'm not willing to shift to a particular city, they will give you F in this category. And TCS is, the clause that you sign when you join TCS is that you should be willing to relocate to any location as required by the project. Apart from that, they will also look at your dress code, the clean clothes if you're wearing a watch or not, if you have tidy hair, if your beard is, if you're a man, if you're a male, if is your beard formalish looking, or is it tomboyish or what, right? So all these categories you see, and make sure that it is demonstrated there, right? And then there are project based question. I think I've already discussed those, right? HR questions, a lot of HR questions would be, what are your future goals, are you preparing for MBA exam? In that case, just say no. They don't want people who are preparing for MBA exams, because they will leave TCS, and in that case they will give you less marks in a certain category. Are you a team player? Why do you think we should take you for this job? Just demonstrate your skills, like I'm a hard worker. If I don't know how to solve a particular problem, I get irritated, and I put my whole hard work and my whole time to be able to complete a particular project in time. And I'm a quick learner, and I love coding and these technologies I've worked upon. And I'm always inquisitive about learning new technologies. Even if I'm given a project in, let's say, C++ or maybe Java, I want to learn artificial intelligence also, and I want to skill myself. So just demonstrate good qualities about you. A most important question is, that is asked with everyone who's a non-CSIT person, because TCS is essentially a coding company, right? If you're a mechanical engineering student, how do you expect to learn and work in a software company, right? And this is very hard question, to be honest, and this has a very easy solution. Just tell the truth, okay? And the truth is that we all know that for a mechanical engineer there are very less jobs in the country, right? And you have to support your family, you have to start your career, and your parents expect of you, and you don't have any plans for MBA, right? So if TCS is giving you an opportunity, you want to grab it, and you will make sure that you work hard enough so that you do much better than all those non-CSIT people. So even the CSIT people, right, they have learned coding in colleges only, right? And basic coding are C++ and DBMS, right? In that case, it will not take you much time, and even TCS will train you enough for all those technologies. And before joining any project, about 3 to 4 months of training will be given to you. So make sure that that is also displayed, and tell them the truth. I am a very quick learner. If there is anything, any technology that I have to learn, I make sure that I learn that with full hard work, and I complete that in time. So just demonstrate that you are willing to learn, and anything, any task, any impossible task that is given to you, you are very confident that you will complete it, right? And then there is, are you willing to relocate? How do you feel about working in weekends and night shift, right? So just tell the truth, and don't answer anything like, I don't want to work in weekends, I don't want to work in night shift. So just tell the truth here also, that who wants to work on weekends or night shift. But yes, if there is something that is project critical and that has to be done, because I will take the whole responsibility of that is given to me, and if I have to put in my extra work on weekends and work in night shift, and I will definitely be working for that, because that has my discrepancy there, and I will be the sole owner of whatever I am doing, and if anything is getting impacted because of me, I will make sure that it is completed on time, even though if it's working on weekends or night shift. And if you work on weekends and night shift also, you get paid extra. So you can always tell that from my seniors I know that if you work on weekends and night shift, so rather than your normal about 1,000 rupees a day, if you work in night shift or weekends, they give you 3,000 2,500 rupees a day as a bonus. So, there's a big surprise at the end. We'll just like to tell you some facts about 95% of the students who were placed in Infosys had prepared from Prep Insta this year, and same for TCS, 91% had prepared from us. And there are 11,000 AMCAT 99, 11,000 people who had prepared for our website for AMCAT, and many of them are 99 percentilers. So, this is the best place that you have to be. We are the most visited website for placements, and we have the most trust of the user, and we provide the best information, and we always like to help you in whatever way that we can, right? And out of those 91% people, 53% of the people had joined us a TCS Ninja or TCS preparation course in that case, right? So it's completely up to you if you want to join that or not join that, right? I'll just quickly walk you through it, and yes, there was a big surprise at the very end, and we'll also tell you about that. So if you go to our TCS main dashboard, you can always go to TCS Ninja here and then main dashboard here. So you'll come to this page, right? So there are two options. We also have these online classes that we are starting, and the first is going to start from 6th of August, and then the second batch is going to start from 13th of August and then 18th of August. So you can always register for this online live class. For it, the online live class will be for 14 days. Let me take you to the online live classes page, and it will be for 14 days. All the concepts like aptitude, email writing, and CMCQ, and coding, command line programming will be conducted, and 2-hour session on every day will be taken. And in the last few days, the session will be longer, about 3 to 4 hour session will be there, and each and every concept will be given to you, will be taught to you properly, and you will get all the previous year papers of TCS. So we also have this paid material. So if you don't want to buy the online live classes because you think you can already do your preparation better from a other resource like a book and all, then you to practice and to get same questions in the exam, you can buy our study only just the study material from our website. We already have these. There are basic study material which have lesser questions from Pro has 2 times more questions than basic material and 4 times more repetition chance than basic materials, right? Or if you also want to study online from our tutors, in that case you can also join the online live class here, right? So you will click on that. Currently the pricing for that is 2,999, but a discount is going on, and you will get 1,000 rupees discount if you apply this coupon code called TCS Ninja, but it is only valid for the first 50 participants. So make sure, hurry, apply now and register for the correct drive. Even if you want to not apply for 6, then maybe apply later. So we'll add you to a WhatsApp group. That would be a premium WhatsApp group. So you can always say that I will be joining from next week whenever the next batch starts for TCS online class, and we have this number. You can always call on this number if you have any doubts, and or WhatsApp on this number if you have any doubts about the online live classes or the paid materials. We will definitely help you with that. Just go through the whole page. About 60 to 80% questions that you will get in TCS will be repeated from this online live classes and the paid materials. And even if you miss any live class, in that case you can always rewatch that particular video. After paying, we'll tell you everything. We'll add you to a WhatsApp group, and all the communication will be done over there, right? So also what we like to share with you is that a lot of good videos are coming on our channel for TCS and other companies, and that will be visiting your campus sooner or later. So make sure that you prepare really well and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because a lot of other good videos are coming. Like this video, share it with your friends on WhatsApp and Facebook, and to start with your preparation, we have about 7 to 8 videos for TCS and TCS Ninja. You can create a personal YouTube video playlist from an option below this, and add this video to a playlist of yours. And if you have any questions about anything, make sure that you comment on this video below. We reply to each and every comment that we get, because this also helps us understand the issue of the end user, and we try to solve them, and by giving a better service to you all. And we always like to help students. So any question about TCS paid material or online live classes, or general TCS Ninja preparation, recruitment, registration, just text us on the WhatsApp group, or maybe just comment down on the video below. We always reply to each and every comment that we get. So best of luck. I'm hoping to see you soon all in the online live classes, or buy the paid materials. And there is a lot of free material on our website which will keep you busy for at least 3 to 5 days, so you can always go through that also, right? Okay, take care. Best of luck, people.